Good morning, Evans Park and Franklin Avenue, and welcome back to another Watch and Win. I'm really excited about this project because I've never tried this before and it's something I always wanted to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to create new crayons from old ones by melting the wax together and creating almost like marbleized little sculptures. So let me pan you down here so you can see what I'm talking about. And I know probably a lot of you have done this at home, but I am new to this, and there's one thing that I've been reading about is most people take the crayons when they melt them and they put them into a microwave. Now, I don't own a microwave, so I have to try to figure out another way to do this. So what I have here, I have a clear measuring cup, that way you can see the wax. I have a couple boxes of crayons that I had laying around, but this is a perfect project for you to do with old crayons. I just happen to have new ones here, so I'm going to use them. And plus, because this is a watch and win, I will be giving away the crayons to one student from Evans Park and one student from Franklin Avenue. So here, I found this really cool mold of I think it's a toucan, and you can see the back. You can see the eye and the nose. And boys and girls, this goes back to our lesson on sculpture, because this is the mold and the crayon that gets popped out is the cast. So even with a craft project like this, there are basic elements of sculpture involved in it. So I thought that was really cool. So let me just move you up just a touch, or move you over so you can see. And what I'm going to do is, to get the crayons to melt, I'm going to create something called a double boiler. And a double boiler is when you put this container over simmering water, and eventually the steam rises up and it will melt the wax. Now, I practiced ahead of time, and you can see I have some residue left over from the old crayon that I put in. And it works out pretty well. But one thing I discovered, and I'm going to move that up real close, and then you can actually see the eye and the shape of the, there's a good shot. Look how cool that looks, right? But one thing I discovered was that if you just let them melt in the pot, the crayons basically become one color. So I'll start with the red, and what I did was, to get the paper off, I just took I have a little X-Acto knife here, but you can use maybe the tip of a pencil, and the Crayola wax sticks to these labels, but you have to get the labels off because you don't want that in your project. So again, this is why an old crayon is a great material to use, because you're basically just recycling them, and you don't have to take off the paper. A lot of old crayons already lost their paper. I know, like, the crayons and the crayons in our art room, a lot look like this, right? So I'm gonna I'll put in the red first. So let's put that in. Okay, so there are my three colors. I have a red violet, and a violet. And I'm gonna swing the camera around. And now we are at the stovetop, where I have a pot of simmering water. And, oh, by the way, I made some cornbread this morning for the kids and for Mrs. Price when they wake up. So I'm going to take my measuring cup, and I'm just going to drop it in. And I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see an upper view. And they're just going to melt. And while they're melting, I will break some more crayons and get those ready for the next step. Okay, so boys and girls, while that's cooking or melting, it looks pretty good. I cut up the rest of the crayons, and they're ready for the next part. And you can see that they're melting beautifully. And the one thing I learned is I don't want to stir it, because if I stir it around, it's going to create one color. So by leaving them in the pot to just melt, they're going to create a swirled effect. Okay, so boys and girls, I think that the wax is ready to be poured. I have on my safe oven mitt, and I have my mold ready. So I am going to get the Pyrex container, and I'm going to pour it into some of the molds. Okay, so here's the melted wax. Beautiful. and I don't know how much I'm gonna get out of it. So I'm just gonna pour some into okay. So I have some in there. Pretty good start. So boys and girls, as I'm melting the wax, I can definitely tell that I'm gonna need more crayons to do this. So I'm gonna open up my second batch. Boys and girls, while we're waiting for the crayons to melt, Boris woke up and he wanted to say hi to you. Hi. Boris went to the vet yesterday and he got all of his shots and he got checked and he's nice and healthy. Although the doctor did say, guess what? Boris has to lose about 12 pounds because Boris is a pug and pugs are only supposed to weigh about 14 pounds to 18 pounds. And Boris weighs, guess what? I think maybe we'll make that a contest. How much does Boris weigh? So take a look at this stocky little pug and maybe you can guess how much he weighs and I'll reveal it in another video. We'll do a project with Boris. That should be kind of fun, right? Alright, so I'm gonna layer this on top now. Alright, maybe start a new one with this color. Some of this didn't melt exactly, but I'm gonna take my next batch and pop it in. This one I made during my practice run, and you can see I didn't put enough wax in to make it as thick as this one, but I kind of like it a little bit thinner. So maybe on the rest of them, I'll make them half the size. We'll try that. Okay, so boys and girls, the last of the wax went in, and you can see it has to set up. I don't want to pick it up because I don't want to drip any of it out, so I have to just give it time. And what's nice is the wax that dripped all over the top, I can just break off when the molds pop out. I hope. So let's wait and see. All right, so boys and girls, the wax has set, and I just want to show you, this is my measuring cup. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to try to order a new measuring cup, and I'll use this one for crafting. So that's the one bad thing about not having the microwave, is you have to use another container, and I think it will get ruined. But let me pan you down, and I will show you what I have here. You can see that the wax that's on top is just kind of flaking off, so that's really good. So I'm gonna pop these out, and let's see, I'll put it towards the camera. And this is a silicone mold, and the, oh wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the marbleization it created. So there's one. Okay, so boys and girls, you can see the beautiful wax crayon sculptures that we made. And at this point, if you can take a look at this painting here that I'm going to show you, and you can guess who is the artist and what is the name of the painting, and you email me with your guess, you can have a chance to win some of the toucan crayons as well as one of the extra boxes of crayons that I have. I'd love to hear from you. Please email me at pricet@pearlriver.org with your guesses, and we will have a watch and win reveal coming up. I know I still have project number 5 we have to raffle off. So if you did not watch that one, watch that video and you can have a chance to win as well. I'll talk to you soon, boys and girls. Have a great day. Bye.